All right, Coach Waz, I thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me. Uh, Question one, Coach. How the heck has the transfer portal treated you? Did you win some, lose some? And, how do you feel about the transfer portal? Fan of it or, kind of neutral, doesn't matter to you? It's just a part of baseball now.
Well, hey, I appreciate you guys having me on and all the work that you guys do as advocates of college baseball. Thank you for the coverage, first off. So, I mean, yeah, I mean the transfer portal. Well, it is it is. What it is. It's not a question on. In my opinion, it doesn't even matter. What people think of it. Some guys are going to be grumbly about it. Some guys aren't. I'm
Right.
flat down the middle. I'm neutral. I'm just like, look, this is just part of the game now, and so
Right.
you embrace every part of the game that is current. If you want changes, then you go through the legislative processes and you work for a change or whatever. I personally I don't know. I'm not a real advocate for the change of all this in any other way. I love the fact that it's here. I think it's great. It gives us a chance to be able to bolster our rosters. It's helped our program. We're not a transfer portal team that is going to go heavy in the transfer portal. We may supplement with a couple of guys that we've lost from the draft.
Right.
We by and large have always built our program based off of high school players.
Right.
And so, we're not the school that's going to go out there and say, hey, if you're a transfer portal guy, come to our school and this is where all you guys need to come. That's just not our business model. And nothing against the schools that say that. And there's been some very successful programs that have just flat out come out and say, hey, we're going to do business this way. And that's just not Oregon. That's just not Oregon. At Oregon, I think on the field right now, we've got 7 of our 8 players starting in the field are all kids that were with us as freshmen out of high school. So, we're going to use it to supplement. I'm a fan of it. I like it. I think it's something that has helped us retain a roster and expand our rosters and stay good. And so, yeah, I'm not grumbly about it at all. I think it's a part of the game that people got a choice to be able to say, I either like it or I don't or whatever. I don't know. For me, it's just part of the game. Let's roll with it.
Right, right. But like you said, your traditional thing is to get them out of high school, and you like developing the kids, and that's what I mean, I like transport because some people do pout about things, and some things may not just work out. But I do also like that tradition of this is the coach that got me out of high school, whether I'm there 4 years, whether I redshirt I'm there 5 years. College is one of the most amazing times in most people's lives, memories for a lifetime. So I think that's awesome that you guys, for the most part, go about it that way. But Coach, so you are in the Big Ten now. Michigan has made some trips to the College World Series. Ohio State is tough. Rutgers can be tough. Um, I believe you guys and Washington are there. There's a couple of Big Ten teams. I went to Penn State's baseball stadium. It's not Texas A&M, which is a phenomenal field, but Penn State has a phenomenal field. To be up there in northern Pennsylvania, not far from the Pocono Mountains. Illinois was a pretty good football school. Baseball school. Excuse me. I seen them beat Southern Miss on the road, which we know Southern Miss always hosts a regional. There's some good baseball teams in the Big Ten. I know you guys had phenomenal success in the Pac-12. Some great baseball schools there: Stanford, Arizona State, Oregon State. I mean, you name it, Coach. But what is your overall thoughts about going to the Big Ten? And are you worried about the long road trips, or I think they'll be just fine because you guys usually go for a series. But just overall your thoughts on it, Coach.
I mean, for me personally, I love it. I think it's unbelievable. I think there's a few things to unpack. The travel, start with that. We're going to charter. So when we charter, you're in and you're out, and you're going to get home from an East Coast trip before the sun even sets. So
Right,
that's a
right,
win.
right.
Student athletes are going to live a life that they're only going to live in the major leagues when they're floating around on airplanes through chartered airports. I mean, that's a huge win.
Absolutely.
The money that's flowing into the conference. If you look at just the history of college sports or probably any business in the world, where the money goes, usually the trends go. And, I think it was even last night, I'm looking at the college football poll, and 4 of the top 5 schools in college football, the poll right now are all Big Ten schools.
Right.
Well, wasn't it just last year that they said the SEC was an unstoppable conference and nobody would ever break that up? And then yet not even a year later, you've got 4 of the top 5 teams in the college football poll that are in the top 5 out of the Big Ten conference.
Exactly.
For me, it's a real situation of, well, where are the finances going? And
right.
the Big Ten obviously has a big media rights contract that's just been signed, the biggest in the country, biggest in college sports history.
Right.
And for me, you'd have to be a fool to look at that sort of influx of financial means coming into each institution and think that the athletic departments, the baseball programs, the softball program, basketball, football, any program at all in these schools, you'd be a fool to think that they were going to get worse.
Right.
I mean,
right.
all you're going to see is these schools blowing up in a positive way with newer facilities, bigger facilities, awesome things for the student athletes, providing them with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, providing them with nutritional snacks and supplements, providing them with all the incentives that you get when you're at a place like the University of Oregon with direct connection with Nike. Right. I mean, it's crazy. So you're talking about, and specifically at Oregon, now we've got the number 1 brand in all of college sports. The University of Oregon's logo is at the top.
Yes.
And now you're going to give the University of Oregon, credit to our bosses, Rob Mullen, Eric Rodell, Phil Knight, all these guys. And now you're going to take the number 1 brand in college sports and you're going to give them the biggest media rights paycheck? I think that's a massive win.
Right.
And all I can tell you is through the history of sports, all the way through college baseball, you look at Southern Cal when they were rolling in college baseball, and you had Rod Dato, and boy, they had better financial means than anybody else out there. You saw all of a sudden that turn into the West Coast dominance because they were the ones that were the ones investing in college baseball.
Right.
Turned into Skip Bertman's wonderful run at LSU with 5 national championships in the 90s, and he had it figured out how to expand scholarships just like Tim did at Vandy. Just like the SEC then had a TV media rights contract where they were the ones that had all the money, and you saw all the sports in that league get better, and now all of a sudden it's the Big Ten's turn. So am I happy to be in the Big Ten? To say the least. I think it's a real blessing. We're lucky, and you're going to see the sports in our league absolutely blow up here in the next 10 years.
Yeah, and I talked with somebody now. I say, back in the day, Coach, you'd have to travel, try and get a press credential, go to a series. Now it's like, heck, I can watch college baseball on ESPN Plus in the middle of the week. I can read it, write the story right there, and call somebody afterwards. So the fact that you can turn on a college baseball game now from February on, and you don't have to just wait till the regional or wait till college basketball tournament's over. You can actually see that, like you said, it makes it expand. And I was just, speaking of Coach, I was just down at LSU. They had his memorabilia all over this pizza place they have right there in Baton Rouge. That guy was an absolute legend. I love watching his documentary on the SEC network. What a phenomenal baseball coach. And speaking of that, you guys have a phenomenal baseball facility. My goodness, Texas A&M has, I think, top in the country. There's a couple more in the SEC and the ACC, but man, you talk about other people's facilities, Coach. You guys have a phenomenal baseball facility, man.
It's unbelievable, and it's only to get better. There's already investments that are going to be, expanding our facility. Plans that are already put into place regarding expansion of our facility has suites already, 8 luxury suites that are already all sold out. They're going to expand all that stuff in the next 10 years. They're going to expand the baseball compound at the facility. They're going to expand our hitting facility, which is already incredible, and they're going to expand it to include all the tricked out stuff that you see in any of the stadiums that you would consider to be, wow, the most modern, updated thing. I mean, the only language that's spoken at Oregon is real simple. It's what do we got to do to be the best? And that's Phil Knight, that's Rob Mullins, that's University of Oregon. Yeah. And that's all they want to hear about. What do we got to do to be the best? And let's continue down the road to do it. And the road to do it isn't a quick fix. It's a process. It takes some time.
Right.
But yet, decisions that these guys make, they're long-term decisions. They're for the betterment of the programs in the athletic department. and the investment in our program is really unbelievable. And that starts with Pat Kilkenny, who's got his name all over our field. Our field is known clearly as the best facility on the western side of the United States. And it's just an unbelievable place to be able to call home, and it's going to continue to get better and better. On the Big Ten, too, let's not forget about the other advantage, and this is something that people don't understand, too, is the Big Ten Conference Tournament is played at the host site of the College World
That's what
Series.
yeah, you got me on that,
mean,
Coach. I don't even have to ask the question now. That's what I was about to say. Like, dang, y'all get to play in Omaha, but yeah, keep going, Coach. I'm glad you brought that up.
So you don't think that the footprint of the Big Ten, when the Big Ten schools are in the College World Series, that isn't got to be the home team for that stretch of time in the College World Series? Absolutely, it will be. And for me to have the edge already to play on that field in a conference tournament before you even get a chance to start your regional, super regional round to get to Omaha, when those schools get to College World Series, those fans in Omaha are first and foremost going to pull for the local team. So I'm sure Creighton would be a favorite.
Creighton.
Nebraska obviously packs it when they get a team in there, which is huge. But Big Ten teams are going to be the hometown team, and they're going to have an advantage when they're playing in the College World Series. And it's just another reason why I think Big Ten baseball is teed up with nothing but positives looking forward.
Right, and then it'd be excellent if you guys, pretty much one year just go to the Big Ten tournament, come back home, do regional, super regional through through Eugene, and then come back. I mean, that would be just a smooth way if you to Omaha. I mean, it doesn't get much smoother than that. But Coach, let me ask you this: so the midweek games, obviously early February, we talked about going, across country for some series. For the midweek games, do you guys think you'll still play like Oregon State, maybe some closer schools, maybe Washington is obviously a league team, but will you play maybe a University of Seattle, or will you still be able to get, you think, those good midweek games that you need early in the season on Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yeah, I don't see why not. And now we got to expand, and maybe on the front or back end of a trip, we get a chance to play somebody. We got to go to Ohio State, and we got to play a Kent State team, for example. We got to go play Xavier at Xavier.
Right. Okay.
We got to go drop in on some people throughout the Midwest. Maybe a Vanderbilt midweek, maybe a Tennessee midweek. Stuff like this now become possibilities because all we got to do is stop somewhere, play a couple of games, and move on. I'm open to all that. I think it's just fantastic. I think when you look at professional baseball, it's a coast-to-coast game, and now our conference is a coast-to-coast game where our guys are going to travel like major leaguers and live like major leaguers while they're in college. I mean, for somebody to say, wow, this is going to be a loss, I just scratch my head and say, I don't understand any of that. I think this is a massive win. It's preparation for the Major League Baseball season that they hope and dream to be in. And this is the closest that they're going to get to it. So until they get there. And then once they get there, they'll have the experience. So this is a massive win, I think, for us, for UCLA, for USC, for Washington to be able to join the #1 television media rights deal in the country now, biggest deal in the history of college sports. That's not to be taken lightly at all.
Right. And you guys are great baseball programs, so that's going to work out way. And you said it best, that's just going to make it easier, and then obviously when you're there in Ohio, you got Cincinnati, that's a good program. You got Wright State, that's a good, what they call mid-major or group of 5 team. It's a lot of great stuff going on in college baseball now. Salaries, I mean, it's really a good time. It's an easy time to cover it. Now, are you in any, before I let you go, Coach, I know you're a busy man. Thank you for your time. Do you have any preseason tournament that you guys are going? Are you going in any of the peak tournaments this year, do you know, or early on?
Not this season, no. Once again, resumes. Last year, we were in the Arlington tournament. We got a chance to play in that.
Gotcha.
And then from here on out, we'll either be in the Arlington tournament or the one in Las Vegas. That's a big-time tournament. I think in 2026, that tournament in Las Vegas has got like us and Tony's group from Tennessee, I think's in there, or maybe it's Tim's group from Vanderbilt, Arizona, Irvine. I mean, we're always going to play the best. We're always going to look to continue a rivalry series with the team up the road that's done a nice job. We're always excited about playing against great people, and so no matter if it's non-conference, midweek, I mean, This situation gives us the financial means and anything else to be able to play people at any time, which is just incredible. I think it's a huge win.
Yeah, and I hope those student athletes, appreciate this once in a life opportunity and the education, everything they get. I mean, it's a great time for college baseball. Coach, I thank you so much for your professionalism. I'm not going to hold you. I could talk all day about college baseball, but I appreciate your time, your input, your opinion, your analysis, and best of luck to you guys. I will definitely try and get out there this early, probably March, and cover a series if I can. If not, definitely in April. And it is going to be enjoyable to watch you guys compete in the Big Ten and do your thing. And hope everything went well. You said everything did go good with fall ball, no injuries. So thanks for everything, Coach.
Yeah, come on out. 36 home games at beautiful PK Park this year. Can't beat it, man.
Yeah, I saw. Hey, listen, I want to come. I saw the YouTube video. What's his name? Sports. I can't think of his name. Where he goes to all the different facilities: football, basketball, baseball. And I saw y'all facilities and Oklahoma State's facilities. I said, man, how could you not want to play college baseball?
You're right. You're right.
So, thank you so much, Coach, for your time. I'll be out there, man. I appreciate it, Coach Wise.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, take care.